Hello. Today I will be reviewing this Ibanez SRF 706. Yeah, SRF 706. I think that's what it's called. It's the sound gear thing. Anyway, it's got three different kinds of pickups and six strings, as you can tell. It's the six-string fretless model of the bass. I'm gonna avoid going through the details of having a six-string or a fretless. I assume you already know about that, and just go into the details of the bass. So it's got three different kinds of pickups. Well, three different pickups, two different kinds. It's got these two, I believe they're passive pickups. It's got the model on there. I'll put it in the description. And then it's got these piezoelectric pickups underneath the bridge. This guitar needs a 9-volt battery. It seems like there's got to be one connected, even if it's not working necessarily for these to work. But this one is powered. I think it's the preamp that's in here, because these bottom three knobs are like equalizing preamp settings or something. It seems like there's some sort of preamp electronics in there. And then we have the three knobs for controlling the three different pickups. So, of course, you can hear that piezo there. Turn down this knob, and now you can't hear it. So the piezoelectric pickup is very good for getting like bass sounds. I'll turn down the two electric pickups here. Equalize everything. Kind of sounds like an upright bass, right? Yeah. So then, if you turn up the bass, turn up the treble, keep the mids about equal. Sounds like an acoustic bass guitar. So, let us turn everything back up again and then equalize. These two knobs, I've noticed, for some reason, the two equalizing knobs in the front closest to the neck have like a mid thing, which makes sense for an equalizing knob, but this one at the last part doesn't. Maybe it has something to do with how it's wired to the piezo. Maybe it's not an equalizing knob, maybe it's a tone knob, I don't know, but it seems to behave like one. So now I'm going to turn off the piezo and let you hear just what the basic electronics of the bass would sound like. So it's going to sound like a normal fretless bass. Yeah, so it can sound like a standard fretless bass. Turn up everything, and we got this extra tone here. So yeah, it gives a little bit more fullness if you got all those pickups on. And of course, it's also got a nice punchy tone if you turn down the neck pickup. Then turn down the bass a little. So if you're looking for more of like a primacy tone, that kind of thing, that's very good. Nice kind of punchy tone you get. Let's see. So those are pretty much all the different kinds of sounds you can get. I mean, you can get more, experiment around with those different tones, mixes between them. If you turn up all of the settings, you get very amplified mix, which is very good for if you're doing percussion. But otherwise, it just makes it sound a little bit, extra noisy. So you want to make sure things are equalized, of course. And so now, this instrument, of course, feels like butter. It feels better than any other instrument I've played. It's not like the most expensive of the instruments in its class, but it's not really cheap either. I've been playing it for about a month now, but I'm still more acclimated to my fretted six string. But I thought maybe I could tell you some of the advantages and disadvantages. Of course, the advantage being that it is got an extra range. It's got a 30 fret range, and it's got extra pickups that allow you to get different tones out of it. It's got these nice fret markers, which I find are very helpful. They don't go across the board though. It takes some getting used to, but I still like the clean looking board, so you can always add the lines if you want. Because of the extended fretboard, the area that you have to play with is a little bit higher tension. Can make it difficult for like getting certain slap techniques that were a little bit easier at lower tension on a different bass, because you got to do it higher up, unless you already play higher up there, which, you know, good on you. If so, I usually tend to play it inwards, and if you're playing towards the neck, where you're going to be doing a lot more tapping, nice resonance it's got too, then you might have the issue where you're slapping and you're slapping up on this extended fretboard here. So there's things you can do, like, just to avoid that. Still there a little bit. Of course, to avoid that, you're going to either need to move your thumb away from the fretboard. You can practice it away a little bit with some practice, like I just demonstrated, but you can still hear it. Or you can try to make sure that the notes are like in key, like. And then you get this interesting, like, almost harmonic overtone effect. But yeah, so that little tapping thing is like a downside you might have, but it's also an upside. Same with the higher tension. Higher tension means you don't have floppy strings, but it means that you're going to have to either get used to working around that or working with that, which actually sounds really cool if you do. So yeah, it's got very nice resonance. Because of course it's a through body design. It's one piece of wood. You can be more muted, of course, but it's just, you know, for certain things it lends itself to let that ring out. Other things it doesn't. But yeah, so it sounds good with fingerstyle. And it sounds good with slap. And then it also sounds pretty good with tap. But I'm not very good at tap. Yeah, and then of course the harmonics sound really good. Most of the time you don't even need the harmonics because you got that extra range, unless you don't want to play up there, because it can be very difficult actually. It's very useful. I do enjoy the extra range and use it quite frequent. But it's hard to play in tune because it's like playing a violin up here almost. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to mention. Turn down the bass knob and up the the higher treble a little bit, you can get some more punchy harmonics. Oh, I think someone's at the door. And of course, smooth as butter. Very nice action. The one I got was already set up for me. Very slightly used, but pretty much new. Most of my basses I've had to set up myself, but this one came set up. But once it's set up, it's very smooth. So yeah, I think that's about everything I wanted to show you about this bass. Maybe I'll add one extra thing. It's got an open port design, which is very interesting, because usually that's something you see on acoustic instruments. I think that's designed to help with the acoustic sound that you're trying to get with this extra piezo pickup. And because of that, it's not as shiny. It's still nice and shiny, but it's not as shiny, which is good because you might have noticed if you happen to do any filming with your guitar that you know, if it's all shiny, you can have just cleaned it off and the single fingerprint that you put on it makes it look filthy. So this one looks clean. Makes it very nice with filming. It's a very nice looking instrument anyway. So yeah, that's the Ibanez SRF 706, I believe. The sound gear. Yeah. Hopefully that was a useful review. There was lots of people reviewing the instrument, but I didn't see them necessarily going into the details of what the different sounds from different kinds of playing you might get on it would be. Most of the people that were playing were doing good demonstrations, but like basically jazz and stuff, which I think is what most people would probably play on this anyway. But I wanted to hear a little bit more myself when I was looking for this, and there wasn't a lot of people slapping on it, so I decided I'd make a review talking about it and how it slaps. Alright, peace out, y'all.